Hey everyone, and welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating and sometimes tragic history of the Mughal Empire. Today, we're talking about a ruler whose name you might recognize, but whose story is often lost in the shadows, Shah Jahan II. Now, when you hear Shah Jahan, you probably think of the majestic Taj Mahal and a golden age of Mughal power. But the man we're discussing today, Shah Jahan II, had a very different experience. His time on the throne in the year 1719 tells a story not of grandeur, but of an empire teetering on the brink of collapse. So, how did a Mughal emperor end up as a mere footnote in history? Let's find out. The year is 1719, and the Mughal court is in chaos. The previous emperor, Rafi-ud-Darahat, has just died after a very brief reign, and the real power brokers of Delhi, the infamous Syed brothers, need a new puppet. They find one in Shah Jahan II. From the very beginning, his position was fragile. He wasn't a ruler who fought his way to the throne or inherited it through a clear line of succession. He was placed there, a pawn in a much larger game of political chess. The Syed brothers, who had become the ultimate kingmakers, controlled everything. They decided who lived, who ruled, and who died. Shah Jahan II was simply their next move. Imagine being the emperor of one of the world's most powerful empires, but having no actual power. That was the reality for Shah Jahan II. The title emperor was just that, a title. All the critical decisions, from military campaigns and administrative appointments to managing the finances of the vast province, were made by the nobles, primarily the Syed brothers. The emperor was confined to his palace, a gilded cage, where he could only watch as his empire crumbled around him. He had no authority over his own army, no say in his own court, and no ability to influence the direction of the empire. He was a symbol, but a hollow one. During this tumultuous period, the Mughal Empire was a house of cards ready to fall. The central government had lost its grip, and the provinces were beginning to act like independent kingdoms, openly defying Delhi's authority. The imperial treasury, once overflowing with wealth from across the subcontinent, was now dangerously empty. Years of political instability, succession wars, and lavish spending had taken their toll. With an empty treasury, the government couldn't pay its soldiers or officials, leading to a complete breakdown of law and order. Bandits roamed to the highways, local governors carved out their own territories, and the common people suffered immensely. Shah Jahan II was powerless to stop any of it. He was a captain on a sinking ship, but his hands were tied, and he couldn't even give orders to his crew. The reign of Shah Jahan II was destined to be short. In fact, it lasted only a few months. The same powerful hands that placed him on the throne decided it was time for him to go. He was removed from power within the same year, 1719. What happened next is a grim reminder of how far the prestige of the Mughal throne had fallen. He was later killed. Think about that for a moment. An emperor, once considered the shadow of God on earth, was disposed of and discarded like a broken tool. This act sent a chilling message throughout the empire. The emperor was no longer sacred. The throne was up for grabs, and life at the top was incredibly dangerous. Powerful nobles now saw emperors, not as their masters, but as instruments to be used and thrown away when they were no longer useful. So, why is the brief and tragic reign of Shah Jahan II so important? It's because it serves as a stark and undeniable symbol of the Mughal Empire's rapid decline. His story perfectly illustrates the key problems that led to its downfall. The rise of powerful, overbearing nobles, the weakness of the central authority, the financial bankruptcy of the state, and the loss of dignity and stability. The empire was hemorrhaging control, and rulers like Shah Jahan II were just temporary bandages on a mortal wound. His reign wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a pattern of decay that would continue until the empire was just a shadow of its former self. It's a sobering tale about how even the mightiest empires can collapse from within. Thanks so much for watching and joining me on this journey through history. If you found the story interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Let me know in the comments what you think about this era of Mughal history. See you in the next video.